Good morning, disc golfers. Joe here with Joe's Disc Golf, and I'm here to talk about the Michelin. Yes. Ho 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 ho. I call on you, Michelin Zord. Yes, Power Rangers here. We're talking about this disc. It is discontinued by Lat64, but I thought I'd do a little retro review on this little beauty here. I think you guys might enjoy it. So let's take this thing out into the field, give it a couple rips, and I'll let you know what I think. The Michelin, Swedish for the missile. Based on the numbers, 15, 3, minus a half, 4.5. There isn't a better name for this disc. Normally, I don't like gold line plastic discs made by Lat64. Generally, I find them too squishy. The flight plate, I feel like if I'm not careful, I'm going to punch my thumb right through the top of the flight plate. But this definitely feels different. I've got a gold line Gladiator here that you can kind of tell maybe a little bit as I'm kind of pushing, flexing here. It's a very mushy disc, and I'm not a real fan of that. But now the gold line hex here, not as mushy. That might have something to do with the hex pattern on here. You can kind of see that as I get up close here. This hex pattern is definitely interesting. It could be found on the entire top of the disc on the flight plate here and on the bottom on the rim right here. Now you can also see here, there's a thumb track here and here. If I get the light just right, you get the thumb tracks right there where you're supposed to put your thumb so it doesn't slip off. So this hex pattern is supposed to help reduce the drag and let this disc fly farther. Much like the dimples on a golf ball, it's the same idea there. Throwing this disc on a backhand, I felt like I could really let loose with everything I had without any fear of turning this over. My classic turn and burn where I just get this going, throw it on a backhand, and just boom, it's on edge. Lord knows where it goes. I threw this disc 5 times in an open field with about maximum 5-mile-an-hour tailwind. Generally, it was pretty calm, and the disc would do whatever I wanted it to do. I was able to get this to hold a straight line, and it flew to my satisfaction. With the way it faded at the end, it would just kind of go out, it'd hyzer out, and then when it would just dump at the end, it was done. It felt a lot like a stiletto or a triple X, where it didn't really skip. It more of just crashed, tumbled, and that was it. Unfortunately, I think I was trying to muscle this out too hard. I was trying to get it up to that 15 speed, and none of my throws went past 380 on a backhand. I wasn't able to relax enough to get this to go smooth and far. When compared to my normal driving discs, like my Biofusion Enforcer and my Sheriff, this sat right in between those just perfectly. When I threw this disc on my forehand, that was a different story. One, I had a hard time. I just like to just grab my disc and go and throw. So I had to make sure that I had my thumb track lined up here. I was able to throw the Michelin here 410 feet. That is 22 feet short of my PR. Despite the glide of 3, this baby can really sail. Now, again, the dimples on here, the hex pattern, is what really helps that out. I also slipped on that one. I might have just set a couple new PRs and broke them all at the same time. It looked like it didn't want to stop. Felt like I unlocked the full flight of the disc. I was able to get a nice, beautiful S on this with my forehand. Letting it go flat reminded me a lot of, say, a triple X or a stiletto, where it would just hold for about 200 feet and then dump. It was when it turned over, it was done. My initial reaction was, I need this disc in my bag. I need to find more of these. I took a breath and decided to throw my Gladiator on both a forehand and a backhand. This was the disc that I had in my bag that was as close as could be. The Gladiator numbers here are 13, 5, 0, 3.5. At the time of recording, I did not have my stiletto in my bag. That was lost out in a field somewhere, but fortunately, I was able to get it back. So the glide here, I feel like the glide on the Gladiator and the speed of the Michelin really just kind of canceled each other out. The 2 discs I was able to get to fly basically identical paths and distances. I believe that the reduced drag of the hex pattern really helped this out. And Lat64 even admitted this in 2019 when they discontinued this model. They said that the hex pattern was able to get the disc to fly longer, but it did hurt the glide. So it was a total wash in terms of what this disc could do. Overall, it seems like the hex pattern got it a net 0 on distance. I wish they would have tried this on something like the Anvil or the Gladiator, just to see what would happen on a disc with a more reasonable speed number. So, the question is, should you have bought the Michelin back when this was in production, or should you run out to eBay and pay some inflated price to go ahead and go get this? My answer to that is no. You don't have the arm speed. I don't have the arm speed. The only time I was able to get this to fly, mostly like the numbers say it should, was when I was throwing this into about a 10 to 15 mile an hour headwind. And that thing flew and turned, dumped, and rolled, and it was not good. It was a very, very finicky disc that I just could not get to do anything. So the only people I think that have the arm speed that would be able to throw this disc with any sort of success would be Eagle McMahon, Simon Lizotte, or David Wiggins Jr. The rest of us, mere mortals, do not have the arm speed to throw that. Now, if you find this in your local disc golf shop and you see it there and it's about 15 to 20 bucks, go out and get it. This is a really cool piece of disc golf history that we're going to look back and go, hey, remember that hex thing? Yeah, it didn't work out, but it was nice that they tried something new. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. It really helps out the algorithm, helps people find this. I'm Joe from Joe's Disc Golf. You can find me here on YouTube, or as across the screen, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joe's Disc Golf. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.